This is the engine for our Project Ultra XJ. This is a LS1 from a 1999 Corvette. 5.7 liters. You can tell it's a Corvette by the oil pan here. Aluminum block. Of course the casting numbers, but the 5.7 right there on the back of the block also. So this is a real Corvette engine. I did get it from a Corvette salvage yard. I didn't buy it from a junkyard. I didn't want to take a chance. But the engine's in great shape physically. So we're going to go ahead today and start tearing this engine down. There's some things that we want to paint, some things that I want to clean up, stuff like that. Nothing major. There's not going to be any major rebuilds or anything with this engine. That's another reason that I went with a engine recycler or a Corvette recycler rather than just going with a junkyard engine or anything like that. I knew what I was going to buy. I knew what I was going to get, so it was a deal. As far as taking this thing apart goes, it's all pretty straightforward. I'm going to pull the alternator off, the brackets off. I am going to pull the intake off. I'm going to pull it all the way down pretty much to the long block. I haven't decided yet if I'm pulling off the balancer or not. Probably not. There's no reason really to pull it off. So I'll probably leave that on. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing torn down so we can start getting some paint slung at it, guys. So thanks for stopping by, and let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, what a pain that was. So guys, the first part of this is to glove up. I know we haven't talked much about it, but I like to wear gloves in the shop. Some people do, some people don't. A lot of mechanics I've heard say that they can't feel anything with them or anything like that. But I'd rather be able to feel stuff when I'm old and still have my fingers instead of them rotting off with all these different fluids and stuff. So guys, if it's on you, it's in you. So So we've got our power steering pump loose. I'm going to go ahead and take it, set it over here on the table with the pulley. So now the next thing up is going to be this reservoir. We're going to go ahead and pull it off here so we can get to the bolt behind it. So now we're going to go ahead and finish pulling the bracket off. All right, guys, I'm getting down there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull off our water pump real quick. This is just secured on with some smaller 10 mil bolts here. All right, guys, so we've got our engine torn all the way down. Now what I want to do is I want to carefully come over here and I want to vacuum up all this stuff. I don't want to blow it off or anything. I want to vacuum it up so it doesn't fall down into the intake ports behind the valves. We've got the engine completely stripped down now. We do have the valve covers off. We've got the valley cover off. The engine itself looks absolutely wonderful. Everything's nice and clean. It's in really good shape. So I think this engine is going to be really good for our application. This is the pile of parts that we pulled off, guys. We've got intake coils, all this stuff over here. Now I'm going to go through all this stuff. I'm going to clean it up. Some of it we're going to reuse. Some of it we're going to replace. So we'll see what we got to do with all of it. But there is another video that I'm going to make with all this stuff, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Now this right here, this is just an old job box. It's kind of got power steering pump, coil pack bolts, manifold bolts, etc. in the corresponding holes. I highly suggest that you get one of these things. You can find these things at yard sales or industrial sales or even Harbor Freight. This really makes taking an engine apart, all the small bolts and stuff, a lot easier to hang on to and to contain. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tape off the cylinder heads, and we're going to put a coat of black across the entire block. We are going to do the pulley too, but I'm going to tape off the actually, you know what, I think I'm going to clean off the block before I tape off the cylinder heads. I don't know. I'm going to do one or the other first. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and clean and degrease the block first. Protect this stuff for now and come back and paint it. All right, guys. So you can see here that I've got the engine taped off. I do have the valley cover back on just to protect the camshaft. I don't want to get any paint or anything down in the valley of the engine. I'm going to go ahead, the first thing I'm going to do is get this thing hosed down with some air, get all the loose particles off here. Then I'm going to come back through with some soap and water and some purple power for a little bit of the greasier spots. Get that taken care of, get it scrub it up, dubbed up, and then we're going to let it dry overnight. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to start doing refurb on all our parts over here. We got a bunch of trick stuff that we're going to do to this stuff. All this stuff's going to get painted different colors. This engine is going to look really good under the hood of our XJ. It's going to be pretty sweet. I got a few more things to organize. Everything's a little bit of a mess right now. It's getting kind of crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and get this block cleaned up so we can get on to something else. So guys, these are just some regular scrub brushes I picked up from Dollar General. Stiff bristle, nothing crazy, super cool, amazing, or remarkable about them. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this block, and as soon as I'm done, I will come back to you guys. It is cleaned up now. I did just a quick soap and water wash on it. I soaked it down with some purple power first, just to kind of loosen all the grease and grime up. Took a couple scrub brushes and good old-fashioned elbow grease and scrubbed her down. The block is in great shape. I love working with an aluminum block. It's lovely how they come clean. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this for now. Tomorrow we will be back and we will start with the primer and paint and all that stuff for the engine. But right now it's got to dry, and that's going to take some time. So we'll be back with the video after that. Guys, so it's the next day and we're out in the garage. Now I did do a little bit of work without you. I got a little bit ahead of you here. I went ahead and painted the block black and removed the oil pan. After I did that, we're going to get ready to change the windage tray, the oil pickup, and the oil pan in the next video. But as you can see here, we got the engine block painted just basic black. It looks great. Turned out really good. This VHT coating, it looks nice, and hopefully it'll be durable and stand up to the part. So over here we have got the Batwing oil pan that I removed. You can see it's a center sump, or it's a center pickup, and you can just tell the differences between the two oil pans. I will actually do a video coming up really shortly on all the differences between LS car engines and LQ truck engines. I got both sitting here, so it'll be, you know, really nice. I can throw something nice together for you guys. So if you don't know all the differences and all the parts that interchange and what you can upgrade, look out for our next video. We'll go over the differences between LQ and LS engines. So back to the engine here. I'm going to go ahead and get to work on getting all this stuff put together, guys. But thanks so much for stopping by today. Comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. We got some more distraction stuff coming for this. We also got parts for our YJ ordered, but you know, every once in a while you just kind of got to pull away and wait for stuff to happen again. So we got our parts ordered for this. We'll finish putting this engine together and then back to the YJ. Thanks so much. See ya.